This is what you as a coach can watch. What is your kid's weight? I was astonished to find obese tennis players. Now when I mean obese, I don't mean fat. I mean the fat percentage in a skinny player is more than 30%. So that's a warning sign. You want to be looking at the fat percentage in the kid. You as a coach can watch the energy levels during training and a match. And you can tell me, you know what, Ryan, this girl drops at 45 minutes. What's the problem? It could be something as simple as no glucose being delivered to the blood. Then you can develop hydration strategies for delivering glucose. Are they hydrating all the time? Are they eating well? Have they got their nutrition plan? Another thing we do, which nobody else in India is doing, and I would advise you to start doing it, is ask your kids to get basic hemoglobin tested. This you as a coach can go to a blood test laboratory, tell the kid, please take a hemoglobin test. Why? Because hemoglobin carries the oxygen. You can come to know if the kid is anemic. Okay? You can also come to know whether the kid is eating right. Because a nutritional deficiency will lead to a drop in hemoglobin. Genetic testing. There is a gene called the ACT3N genotyping test in India. We do it at our clinic. This test, genetic test, tells you whether you have a gene which says that you are one of three athletes. You listening? One is, are you a power athlete? Are you an endurance athlete? Or are you a mixed athlete? Now, on the internet they say that this should not be the compliance for you to develop a player. But let me tell you what I see as a nutritionist. If I know my athlete has a power gene, what would you do as a coach? Anyone wants to answer that? If you knew your player had a power gene in them, what would you do as a coach? Focus on that gene. Like you want this player to be a power player. But if that player had an endurance gene, what would you do? Train your player to tire out the other player. Now these are things that contribute 0.5% to making a world-class player. I have understood this, and so my diet would be, okay, this guy is a power player. We want to get the right type of power into him in the first 1 hour of a match. So that's what we did with Sushil Kumar, the Olympic wrestler. He has a power gene. So I told him, Sushil, in the first 3 minutes, your blood is going to perform this way. This is what we need to put into your blood for the first 3 minutes. Simple thing. We just did glucose and we did vitamin B12. And then just shocked his head. So he was bam, into it. But any of Sushil Kumar's matches that go beyond 7 or 8 minutes, he's screwed. He's literally screwed. So he tries to finish his match as fast as possible. So the same thing could be given to your kid. And by the way, this should be kept confidential. Because only the coach, the kid, and maybe the nutritionist should know this. Because if you go around telling everyone, hey, I'm a power athlete. Other guys are going to say, I'm an endurance athlete. Dude, I'm just going to tire you out. So this is an important thing. Alright? 7 of my 12 personal patients, counseling patients, tennis players, 7 of them had vitamin B12 deficiency. Shocking. You lose vitamins from your sweat also, B and C, they're water soluble. Keep this in mind. You have world-class players with you. You want to be investing in a vitamin testing. Liver and kidney functions. In my career, I've had to tell 2 parents to pull their children out of athletic programs. 2 parents I've had to tell because the kids' liver and kidneys were not able to cope up with the normal stresses of exercise. You've got to be looking at things like what we call as blood urea. You've got to be looking at things like alanine transferase. There are 5-6 markers that can tell you that is this kid's body handling the training workload. Some tips. My favorite fruits pre-training: milk, dry fruit, cheese. You can get this presentation to your email ID. So you just need to, I'll give you the number again, which you need to send an SMS. During training, my favorite is coconut water, nuts and bananas. Post-training, timing, very important. You can give this: milk, eggs, noodle, curd rice, smoothies. This is what I've seen children in India love. It's portable. My problem with smoothies is that they tend to spoil because the parents pack it 4-5 hours earlier. Egg whites and milk don't spoil in terms of the milk can be sent in cold vacuum flasks, Okay, noodles doesn't spoil, so you can have it in a heat box or a thermos flask or whatever. Curd rice, all-time favorite for all of those down south. But let me tell you one thing, the carbohydrate digestion rate of curd rice, North Indians, you need to be paying attention to curd rice too. Alright? My favorite supplements. I am a pro-believer of supplements. We do it in the right way. We do it with things. I believe in sports drinks. Okay, so you have a range of sports drinks out there. You need to be focusing on multivitamins and minerals. I told you earlier, the kids have a vitamin deficiency. So you want to be getting into checking out, is there a vitamin deficiency at the end of the day? For example, you can do a calcium and magnesium test. Is the calcium magnesium helping in cramping, or discover why the kid is cramping or not? Whey protein is an all-time favorite by a lot of athletes. You need to understand, there's a way isolate, there's a way hydrolate. People take commercial bodybuilding supplements. Don't do this. Okay? Decide. Whey isolate can be taken post-training. Hydrolyzed whey can be taken during the day when sipping. There is a milk protein known as casein. I like to give it at night because an athlete is sleeping for 8 hours. After 1 hour, your food completely digests. So, if you take casein, it forms what is known as a bolus in the stomach. It forms like a curd. And for 4 to 5 hours, it's releasing protein slowly to the intestine. So through the night, you're giving amino acids to your blood. So this could be in nighttime recovery cases. Of course, you have heard about NEG gels and bars. People come to me and say, which are the best? There is no best. You need to open up the label and say, does it have the right amount of carbohydrate? Does it have the correct amount of protein? Does it contain the correct amount of fat? In terms of weight loss, my favorite are green tea extract, normal green tea or green tea capsules, and carnitine, not to be mistaken with creatine. If you're giving your tennis players creatine, please stop doing it. Creatine is meant for powerlifters and weightlifters, not tennis players, because it dehydrates the body. Carnitine is found in the human body. It's a natural shuttler of fat. So in endurance marathon runners, you can actually use carnitine to tap into your fat reserves to give you more amount of what we call as acetyl-CoA in the Krebs cycle. I have a clinic in Bangalore, it's called Quan Nutrition. We take care of genetics, we take care of planning, we work at the heart rates of athletes, we do nutrition periodization. I'm winding up my presentation. I got a flight to catch. Some basic things that you could remember as a coach. 30 to 60 grams of carbs per hour of exercise. This is important. I tell people you can calculate at the rate of 0.1 gram per kg of body weight. So, you need to do the multiplication and say this is the amount of carbohydrate I require every 2 hours. For protein, anywhere from 1.5 to 2 grams per kg of body weight is required at the end of the day. Don't take it in 1 meal. I had an athlete, sir, I require 100 grams of protein a day. I'm going to put 3 scoops of whey protein and have all of this at one shot. I'm prepared. Wrong strategy. 6 meals a day, split it up. Your body wants to be getting it in bits and pieces. Alright? My favorite amino acids. Amino acids are the basic units of protein. All protein is broken down to amino acids. The human muscle, 60% of the human muscle is made up of glutamine. You must have heard of this as a player or tennis coach. Glutamine serves 2 masters in the human body. Glutamine serves the muscle and glutamine serves the immune system. If you're sleeping, wake up. This is the reason, I'll tell you right now why the reason players fall sick. When they play excessive amount, glutamine can serve only one master. So he goes to the master and says, Master, I am here in the blood. I am glutamine. So muscle says, I have done 3 hours of tennis. You need to service me. The immune system says, Master, you need to service me also. I also am, functioning in the human body. Muscle says, nothing doing. I want all the glutamine. So in chronic training fatigue, what happens is glutamine reserves drop. Muscle takes over and immunity drops. Players fall sick. So you want to be taking a good amount of glutamine from protein in your diet, from a protein supplement, or you could also invest directly in glutamine supplements. Omega 3. players say omega-3 is for heart patients, for cholesterol patients. Why do I require omega-3? It's important because science has found out omega-3 helps in the testosterone cycle. One of the fats utilized to produce the body's own testosterone is omega-3. So you want to be taking some amount of omega-3. If you are from Goa, like me, and get fresh fish, eat fish, you don't need to take an omega-3 supplement. But if you are living where you don't get fish, you might want to consider an omega-3. Calcium and magnesium. Players take sports drinks. It contains sodium and potassium. The problem is, the sports drinks don't contain calcium and magnesium. So you want to be taking a calcium and magnesium supplement as part of your regime.